Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Cracked Open Games and Toys. Today we're checking out Combaticon Brawl from the Age of the Primes line. I know last week I just posted the combo video for Vortex and Blastoff. Definitely go check that out if you haven't already. But I managed to find this guy over the weekend locally, so we'll do an unboxing review for him. We'll start off by checking out the packaging, then the robot mode and accessories, the manual and transformation, the alt mode, and finally any final thoughts that we have. So yeah, let's go ahead and start off by checking out the packaging. And just one other quick thing I want to get in the habit of doing on this channel is giving you guys a close-up on the barcode. I had a friend who asked for the barcode on this guy last week, so just wanted to show that to you guys so you have it for your reference if you're looking for it. Let's get this guy unboxed and check out the accessories. Alright, here's our Brawl figure, and we're just going to get him a little bit situated first. He actually feels, just picking him up for the first time, he feels really good in hand. Alright, so as far as these extra accessories go, the guns are going to peg in right back here to his tank mode to give him some shoulder cannons. And these are articulated on a hinge back here, which is kind of nice. So you can pose those however you like. And then we get a small little blaster pistol for him. And yeah, again, I gotta say that right out of the box, this guy feels really nice, super sturdy. Yeah, just very, very chunky, yet well put together is the best way I could describe him. He feels like he's a little bit more than the standard deluxe, so I'll give Hasbro that, because this guy is coming in at a Voyager price point, and he's just a little bit bigger than a deluxe. Alright, anyway, next we'll check out the robot mode. Okay, so let's take a look at Brawl's robot mode. And yeah, if we leave him with those guns in, he's just going to have those articulating guns in robot mode, which is pretty awesome. As far as articulation goes, let's check out the head. That is on a 360 ball peg. Get a close look at that too, it looks pretty nice. Very cool head sculpt on this guy. My camera will stay focused. Yeah, I dig that, he looks very cool. Alright, as far as the shoulders go, okay, these are hinged out up here, not on this whole mechanism, so they can get straight out across the board. You get a 360, and probably due to some of the transformation, they're also on this hinge here. Not going to get anything backwards, that will not budge, but you can move shoulders and forwards that way if you want to. We do get a bend at the elbow, and it does have some molded heart underneath there, so it's not just a hinge. You actually get to have some elbow joint there once you move it and expose it. As far as the wrist goes, there is, again, no wrist articulation. That's on both Sure Shot and... So yeah, that's Sure Shot, and again, Vortex recently that we've seen the no wrist articulation, and now we got Brawl with it. That is just, man, that's kind of irritating that this is going on over, like, depending on where you get them, like a $42 to $45 figure, and we got no wrist articulation there, so kind of disappointing. He does still feel solid though, so you gotta give him that. As far as the legs go, we're gonna get straight out to there. And because of the back, I guess you can move the back. No, not really. Just kind of, that is what you're going to get if you go back. And we get a knee bend there. There is swivel at the upper thigh, 360 on that. Ankle tilt all the way out to there, actually even further than 90 degrees. And yeah, you're going to get a little bit of forward toe bend there if you need that. But yeah, just a little disappointing he doesn't have any wrist articulation. And just for comparison with Blastoff, I think we said in that last video that both Blastoff and Vortex are coming in right at about 5 inches. So you can see he is just ever so slightly bigger than Blastoff here. So yeah, for Blastoff we're looking at about just over 5 inches, and for Brawl, with the guns and everything, you can go up to 7, but he's right at a little over 5.5 inches, so ever so slightly bigger than Blastoff. But you can definitely tell when they're side by side that he's got a little bit of extra robot to him. And next, let's check out Brawl on the turntable. And as always, guys, here's a look at the instructions for Brawl. Alright, next we'll take a look at the transformation. Alright, let's start by getting all of his accessories out of here. And these will all go into his tank mode later on. Alright, we can straighten out the arms and move them all the way up to the shoulders. These little pieces here on the side of the forearm will separate, and we just flip these around. Be a little careful with them because they do pop off their hinges here from time to time. These little tank treads at the shoulder are going to pop out. And we're going to pop open his chest plate and just push the head in and seal that back up. And spin his arms around to the front. And then we're going to take this whole assembly piece and lift it up. We can then rotate at the torso 180. Straighten out spin that around and straighten out the turret. Okay, so down at the toes, we're going to flip those forward and then flip them back. We're going to then compress those toes on the top part here. Slip around, and these inner feet pieces with the tread are going to flip them out that way and then accordion them one more time. Straighten this whole thing out. Same deal on the other side. You can just do that in all one big motion too. We can then join the legs together, straighten this out, and then we can flip these tank pieces back. There are tabs here, so just to show you beforehand, there's a tab here and a tab here that's going to lock into, and then same deal on the other side, just flip it forward and then look for those two, one at the waist and one at his torso. Flip around to the other side and we can lean this turret just a little bit forward so we can lock this whole back section in. You put that down. The arms have this double hinge that we saw in the robot mode, so what we need to do is fold those down first, and then we're going to hinge that back so it can lock into the torso section. And then there's just a slot there. Kind of have to maneuver it into, and then it will lock all together. Same thing on the other side. Just bend it down, and then you're going to have to move the hinge up. And we almost got it in all one shot that time, so there you go. And then for the guns, you can really have in any, there's several ports all around this thing that you can plug them into. But I generally just like to have the little gun up here. And then we can put these big turrets in the back here. And yeah, let's go take a look at the 360 and the alt mode. And just a few comparisons for you. Yeah, we already looked at it at the beginning, but here's another shot with his Combaticon brother Blastoff. They look really nice together. Here he is with Vortex in his helicopter mode. So you can see how those two kind of match together in their different modes. And here's another look of him with Fans Project. Bruticus. This guy standing is already almost up to his waistline, so yeah, definitely should be a much bigger, bulkier scale for the new Hasbro one compared to this guy. And of course, we got to have one last comparison with Soundwave. And yeah, I dig this. I don't know what the animation scale, if this is technically accurate or not, but I mean, they look really good together. So, I mean, if they're off a little bit, doesn't matter too much because they look super nice together. All right, we'll be back with some final thoughts. Alright guys, just a few final thoughts on Age of the Primes Brawl. I really like this guy. Even though we just looked at Blastoff and Vortex, I think this is the strongest of the three so far, and it really makes me excited for Swindle and the Onslaught Commander class that's going to be coming out this fall. So yeah, this guy has... where the other two were just kind of okay in my mind, this is a step up beyond them. Even though you're paying for Voyager price point, at this one was going to run you around 40 bucks. I think you're getting a better figure here. And I think it's really going to show once we get the whole combiner together. So yeah, this thing is a step in the right direction. And I hope the remaining two are just as good, if not better than Brawl. Again, just to show you guys real quick, my only negative on this figure is the wrist articulation. We've seen it on the deluxes so far, and I mean, it's kind of acceptable at that level, but when you get to the Voyager leader price point, I mean, you got to have articulation there, and some sort of gap filler or something like that's not acceptable on a $40 and plus figure. But it gets a pass for me just because of how dang sturdy and stable this thing is. Holy crap, this thing is built like a tank, literally. So high recommendations on Brawl. It's an awesome member to this set so far, and really gets my hopes up for the last two that are coming. So yeah guys, thanks for checking this one out today, and I'll be sure to do the Swindle and Onslaught videos later this year and do a whole guide for them once that set is complete. Remember to like and share, leave a comment down below if you have any questions or anything, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And if you enjoy videos like this, please check out the channel and consider subscribing. Alright guys, until next time, take care and have fun.